Hey, what's up, everyone? It's been a long time since I've done a reading here for YouTube. Just life and all that. Also, I just was like, I wasn't sure if that's what I really wanted to do. So I've definitely shifted my focus when it comes to business, but I'm actually not going to take that one. I still love tarot. It's just simply a tool that I use. And yeah, I will do them as I'm guided is what I'm trying to say, I suppose. So thank you to anyone who is subscribed to my channel, the very few of you. I hope to grow it and to just expand my horizons on different platforms. So if you like any of the videos that I post, please share them with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and like it. And I appreciate every single one of you who watches and listens. And yeah. Let's get started. So tomorrow is the full moon eclipse, and it's like a bunch of different things. It's a full moon, it's an eclipse. I think it's a blood moon, and also it's called like the flower moon. Okay, that one wants to come out. Lots of different things, but I just want to see what energy is present, especially when it comes to love and relationships, because that is what we're focusing on here, at least right now. I'm using my Lover's Path Tarot deck that I think I got last year, but have been using it more frequently. So I figured this is the perfect deck to use. Wisdom, the perfect deck to use for love and relationship reading. So this is actually the oh my God, the High Priestess in the tarot, the traditional tarot. So the High Priestess is about, this one says wisdom, but it is about like hidden knowledge. So wisdom usually comes from within, right? Like things that we sit and observe and knowledge we take in and the reflections we get out of it. So it's a lot about hidden things that are hidden. See, it can be about secrets, but not necessarily in a bad way. A secret as in like somebody could be pondering like how they feel about somebody and not sharing it necessarily. And then we have the Four of Staves, which is the Four of Wands. This represents stability and home, and it can represent marriage, union. You'll see that these two people, it generally depicts a wedding. So that's why it's considered union, or the 1111 card, because there's four wands, right? So, that one. And the Three of Staves, Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in. So you've put your intentions out there. You're waiting for basically something to come back. So what I'm kind of getting is somebody is sitting and reflecting, has been working on going inward, finding the answers, listening to their intuition when it comes to love and what to do about it, or possibly like what it is, focusing on what it is you do want and realizing that, like the wisdom that you've gained from past experiences in love and relationships, you're realizing what you do want now. And first, I feel it's creating that stability in your own life before then having the actual physical person showing up for you. So I really feel like this is for somebody who's not in a relationship already. The Seven of Cups. Yeah, so the Seven of Cups is about daydreaming or fantasizing. It can be about having a lot of options, but I really feel like it's fantasizing, especially if it's corresponding with the High Priestess card. It's about, like I said, fantasizing. It can be about illusions, but I don't feel that this is coming from a shadow place, because I think the shadow aspect would be illusions. This is about, okay, because you'll see how there's this, I just noticed that there's like this shadow of or like ghost kind of person right here. And so she's looking at all of her options. Which direction do I want to go? I feel like it's more so, what do I actually want in a relationship, right? The first step, if you're thinking about like manifesting or a love relationship, usually is, and I've been told this a bunch and I've done it, is writing out what you do want. And that is how you manifest and attract. So taking the time to really get clear on, these are the type of characteristics, the qualities that I would like in a partner in a relationship, not necessarily focusing on a specific person, because that can trip you up in terms of it may not be that person. I mean, it could be, not saying it couldn't be, but however, when you have like a specific person in mind, sometimes the attachment to it being that person keeps you from actually having it because you're too attached to the result. And so you become detached and you say, these are the general qualities, overall feelings I would like to have in the relationship or with this person, or this is how I'd like the person's energy to feel. And then you, like you say, you know, like through this person or somebody who's, because here's the thing, sometimes we don't actually know if the person that we're focusing on can actually give us those things, because like I said, the shadow aspect of this card is fantasizing, maybe even romanticizing when we're not actually seeing what's present in the moment. Are we actually seeing the person for who they are? Are we just creating an illusion in our head about this person? So you want to be really aware of that. And when it comes to manifesting a relationship, making sure that it's focusing on the general qualities. And if you have someone specific in mind and you're like, but Bethany, I know it's this person, my intuition tells me, that's great. What you write in there is through this person or someone else, like basically who has these qualities, because everyone has free will. Just because you feel like it's that person doesn't necessarily mean that they feel it, or maybe they do feel it, but they are ignoring it, or they're in another relationship and again, we have free will, which means we have choices. So what if they don't choose you? It's such a possibility. You have to be open to the possibility that maybe they don't choose this direction and they choose a different direction, and which means then that through your manifestation, writing down the qualities, you're going to get the same thing, but just through a different person. So it's about being open to that. I feel like that's a really big message, is you cannot get fixated and attached to the end result, which in this case represents a specific person, because who knows, like rejection is protection, which means if nothing's happening with that person, you cannot just keep putting energy there, right? It's like at some point it's got to give. At some point you have to see something coming back, which is that Three of Wands energy of like waiting for something to come back. You can't be waiting in vain. And we also don't wait around for people if they're clearly not giving us what we need or what we want. Three of Coins. So the Three of Coins is about teamwork and collaboration. It's about building something. Let's see what this has to do with. It's funny noticing like there's not another person in this card. Generally there's two people in there working together because this is about collaboration or building something, but it looks like this person is she's obviously by herself, and she looks sad, right? She looks sad and like, I built all this on my own, or I have no one to share it with. That's what I feel. I built all this on my own and I have no one to share it with. Is that how you feel? Sometimes I feel like that. But that energy is not going to create what you want if you're focusing on the lack and what you don't have. Prince of Coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving action card in the deck. It's like moving through molasses is what I'm hearing. You'll even see it's a knight card, which is about action. He's standing still, but he's holding this gigantic coin. What's funny is that I noticed that he's holding this big coin. It's almost like, seems like too big for him to hold or to carry. And maybe it's really heavy. And so that's like the reason that it may be taking a lot longer. Okay, here's the message. I feel like, especially with this spread of Seven of Cups, Three of Coins, and then the Prince of Coins, is either what it is you're dreaming about hasn't come yet because it's really big in terms of like it's worth waiting for, to that effect, or also you need to dream a little bit bigger, because what you think you want you can actually achieve or have a little bit more or better. You know, I don't like to use those words, but I'm limited in my language. It's not necessarily that one is better than the other, but it's just you may be limiting yourself in terms of what you imagine you can have with somebody, or the type of person, the type of relationship. So you want to make sure that be unreasonable with your requests when it comes to the universe and what you want in love. Be unreasonable. Like if you think like, sometimes I think we again, we limit ourselves. I don't want to say dumb ourselves down. We shrink ourselves down. You're not dumb. We shrink ourselves because we think that our requests are too much, that it's not actually possible. And that really just points us to beliefs that we have within ourselves that need to be addressed when it comes to what we want to attract in love, or what we're attracting, or what we're trying to attract. So we have balance, which is, I believe this is temperance. And I love that in this deck, with every major arcana, there's a love, historical, famous couple, like love story. This one is Venus and Vulcan. Excuse me. So Venus is actually that's the planet of, or the goddess of love and relationships. But balance, temperance is about just what it says. Balance is about emotional mastery also, because you're tempering things, like you're attempting to create balance through like a reaction. Ooh, that was a lot. I want to say alchemical reaction. You're alchemizing, you're transmuting energy. In this specifically, I feel like it's emotions, because in this card, it's cups, which represent emotions in the tarot. I think this is advice on how to get the relationship that you're hoping for. Triumph. Well, this is the World. So we have two major arcana in a row. The World is about a completion, right? A coming full circle. Think like basically something coming to a state of wholeness. And then we have three major arcana in a row. Innocence, which is the Fool, the first card in the major arcana. So it's funny that we go from the very last card to the very first card. So it's like starting a new cycle. We've completed, so there's like the lessons we've had to learn when it comes to love. We're coming to the end of that, because I feel like this is like, it's just what we're stepping into, or what we're moving through at the moment. And if I look at these last three cards I just pulled, the balance, the temperance would be like past, and the triumph, which is the World, would be present, and then the innocence, which is the Fool, would be future. So in the past, you have been learning to, basically it's mastery over your emotions, becoming a master of yourself and finding that balance within yourself. Triumph is like coming to a state of completion and wholeness. Like, I've learned this lesson. I know where to go from here, basically. But where do you go from here? Is you take a leap of faith. And honestly, it's like, you know where to go, yet you don't, because the Fool is kind of stepping off that cliff to, I have no idea. You look, he's blindfolded in this card. I actually don't know what's on the other side of this cliff, or this door, or whatever it is. I don't know what's going to happen. But you kind of have to take that leap of faith and trust that, because you've done the work and learned your lessons, that what's on the other side is going to actually be what is meant for you, even though you may not know who it is or what it looks like. Let's get three more, and then I'll do some. So we have the Ace of Staves, which is the Ace of Wands, the Five of Cups. The Ace of Wands is creation. It is new beginnings. It's passionate new beginnings, creative new beginnings, new opportunities. But then we have the Five of Cups, which is regret, loss, crying over spilled milk. It's also just fear of that too. Let me see. Let me get one. I'm going to get one more and see what this is pointing us to. The Queen of Coins, which is the Queen of Pentacles. I think the message here is, even though you are starting out, you've come to a state of wholeness, you're starting it off on a new journey, new opportunities are going to be presenting itself, doesn't mean that all is going to be fine and dandy and rainbows and unicorns all the time. You may still go through a healing process, or things may come up where you're like, I regret the way I did that, looking at the past, still needing to learn from the past when it comes to those things. they're telling me to read the message from here to avoid confusion. Let me see. Five of Cups, disappointment, sadness, pessimism, feeling trapped, concentrating on problems instead of assets, not seeing opportunities, creative blockage, or infertility. Okay, so it's basically warning you. I say it's a warning. It's like telling you, don't put yourself back into this energy, because I literally just said that this is creative opportunities. And you can kill those by falling into this energy. And it's reminding you that you have the power to create. Like, this card is about fertility, stability, generosity, nurturing, all of those things. So you have the power to stay in this grounded, fertile energy. I really want to get one more because I feel this like, oh my God, is this going to happen to me? It's telling you, I mentioned that we all have free will, right? So it can happen to you if you allow yourself to be in that energy, which is like reminding yourself you know how to create balance. Like, you went through this process of transmutation, alchemy, and creating that balance within your emotions. They're telling me to read this one, the Queen of Cups, or I mean the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. Fertility, prosperity, beauty, generosity, creating prosperity and harmony, fertility, possibly parenthood, loyalty, warmth, affection, love. So when you find yourself slipping into this, if you feel like this is your go-to, this is your pattern, which I feel like this is probably what you learned, like there may still be echoes of it coming through, even though you've moved through the lesson. Remind yourself that you are this. Like, come back to the present moment. You know, Pentacles are about being, is about earth energy. So that's like being present in your body. Remember who you are. Like, remember who the fuck you are, basically, is what I just heard. And I can feel energies freaking out, probably myself, but also other people. Most likely, if you're watching this and you're like, but I thought I moved through that. 10 of Coins. Okay, so the 10 of Coins, the 10 of Pentacles is like prosperity, wealth, success, accomplishment in the physical world, which means money, career, stability, home, happy home life, all of that good stuff. And again, I'm just seeing there isn't actually a relationship here, which means the healing process is taking place in order to get you ready for it. Ooh, getting you ready for the relationship, but it's still time to focus on you. So, I mean, and always we want to go back to ourselves. We don't want to focus on other people and what they're doing. We are creating our own stability, our own wealth, so that when we meet someone, we add to each other's lives. We're not needing them to replace something that we feel like we don't have. So we have the 8 of Staves, which is the 8 of Wands, which is quick movement forward. It's about the arrows of love. I'm really feeling that like, so this is the full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archer. And what do archers do? They aim, fire, they hit their target. And that's really what I'm feeling from this energy is once you create this stability for yourself, or once you, like, the energy's already there, like reminding yourself to be grateful for what you do have, for what you have created, and knowing that you can create because you have that power. We all do. You can create what you don't have in any given moment, but what you're focusing on now. So don't focus on the past, because the 5 of Cups is a lot about focusing on the past. You're like, I feel like that is really, this full moon eclipse is allowing us to let go of the times we would go back to the past and be depressed and focus on what didn't work and fixate on that stuff. Like, we're moving through that. Even though there may be remnants of it, I think definitely through this full moon, stuff's going to come up and you're going to have to maybe release that stuff, but it doesn't mean it's going to be staying here for good. Focus on what you already do have, like what you've already created, the progress you've made. Just focus on what you do have is what I keep hearing. And then once you're in that place, like you're going to see how when you are coming from your place of emotional mastery and balance, when you focus your energy towards what you do want, it comes very quickly and you hit your mark. And 8s are about manifestation. So it's like, you'll notice that things will start to manifest, things will start to pick up and happen for you more quickly. And then we have illusion, which I believe is the moon. I just want to double check though. I'm pretty sure it is. I want to read this one actually. Yes, so it is the moon. The lovers are Odette and Ivan. So it's about fantasies, intuition, emotion, enchantment. Princess Odette, heroine of the popular ballet Swan Lake, was cursed by a sorcerer to remain a swan forever, except at night. The only way her enchantment could be broken was by a vow of eternal love. However, if this vow were broken, even by chance, she would die. When Prince Ivan met her, he promised to love her and to return to claim her as his bride. But the sorcerer tricked Ivan, and he soon heard a heart-trending cry in the distance, the cry of a dying swan. Ivan ran to rescue Odette, but it was too late. Oh my god, that's terrible. So the meanings of this card: enchanted by love, for better or worse, confused by illusions that may or may not be real, and intense emotions, the need to know what's real. So this goes back to this card, the Seven of Cups that I was talking about, is you're really learning to identify what is possibly an illusion, what you're romanticizing, and what is actual real life. The Six of Coins, yeah, because here's what I get. What you think you want in a relationship or a person, especially if it's a specific person, because I think that message needs to be reiterated. It may not be the person you think it is, most likely is not. The way that, or what we're used to, like how it feels, we're going to need to really pay attention to that, because we have the Six of Coins, which is the Six of Pentacles. So that's about balance, reciprocity. And you'll also notice that, like, in this card, this person's just like laying coins at her feet. I feel like the person that is meant for you is going to be so generous and match your energy, like how you are usually used to showing up in relationships, but you're like not getting the same back from people, or like that's why you have regret or remorse for the past because things didn't work out because the other people didn't meet you where you were at. That's not going to be the case for this person, but you want to make sure that you're not stuck in thinking that relationships are supposed to be one-sided, or that energy of I give more or I have to give more. Like, you need balance and stability, and the person's going to feel like home, like they're going to make you feel secure. Whereas if you are coming from, you know, you're wounding, and like we had chaotic stuff happen when we were younger, and that's the relationship model we saw. This new healthy relationship that you actually do want and need is going to feel so much differently than you expect it to. So I think there's that message to just be mindful and be open to it being something different. Because there's a chance, like the Nine of Staves, Nine of Wands is about being the wounded warrior. There's a chance you could block it, or, you know, be like, this isn't real, or this isn't for me because it feels different or brand new. But again, that's the Fool energy of like, you have no idea what it's going to be like or how it's going to feel. So you have to trust that the newness of it is actually good for you. And it's okay to protect yourself, to acknowledge what you've been through and how it shaped you, but you don't want to close yourself off because of it. Because then we have the Ten of Arrows, which is the Ten of Swords, which is like something needs to die and not come back. But swords and arrows, they represent air, which is our mind. So it's beliefs. And again, it's 10, culmination, completion, something needing to go and not come back. And that is really what this full moon eclipse is allowing us to do, is to look at the patterns or the beliefs we have in relationships and how it has affected us, and what we need to let go of so that it doesn't keep getting in the way of us having what we truly need and want in a relationship from a partner. So I'm going to choose one of these and then end it. Oop, that one. Possibly that one. Let me grab it. Hold on. Where did it go? Oh, I lost it. Okay, it says, do not give in to fear and doubt. Courage is called for now. Face your fear. Look at things objectively. You are safe and all is well. Fill your fear with love. Beyond fear, love is guiding you, urging you to break free. You will succeed. So there's probably some fear coming up around this is a new direction, and I know I'm going in this way that I have no idea what's coming up. So this is just reminding you, that you can love your fear and know that it's there for a reason. It's there to protect us. And there's simply something that your fear thinks it's protecting you from, but that's honestly just because you haven't experienced what's on the other side of your fear, right? Which is going out of our comfort zone, experiencing new things, new opportunities. So just know that you can love your fear and love yourself through it and not give into it, and instead just continue to take action despite. So this one says, every challenge provides an opportunity to discover a deeper meaning to life. Each challenge can be a gateway to something greater. Use your intuitive and creative powers. Many solutions exist. Move beyond fear, and you'll discover that there are no limits apart from the limits that we ourselves have placed. Again, I feel like that reiterates the be unreasonable with your requests, and that it's simply our fear that's holding us back, whether it's fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear that we're going to ask for it and not get it, fear of not being supported. That's all showing up for you when it comes to this new, for you to let go of. This is all the stuff to let go of, the fear that's holding you back from moving into this new direction, this new beginning. So I think that's it. And if you'd like to work with me, please, you can email me. You can also schedule through my website. Right now, I only have my Embodied Pussy Wisdom sessions, like one-on-one sessions on there with my services. However, the same price for the same amount of time, you can schedule with me and do a tarot reading if you just would like a general reading and you don't want to focus on the what I have right now, which is basically helping women tap into their feminine energy and own their power. So, but I mean, of course, with anyone, it's just feminine energy in general. So anyways, book through my website, empoweringauthenticity.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at empoweringauthenticity and message me there, or you can email me at empoweringyouраuthenticity@gmail.com, or just leave a comment here, but I would prefer email. DM me on Instagram or through my website. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.